Where is it? Yeah. Chats. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Rebecca and Carol. So you can all see the screen. Oh, brilliant. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go into the class. I'm going to shut down, hi Hortense. I'm going to shut down chat just now, just so that I don't get distracted, because I find my eyes going to that. I will open it up at the end. If you have any questions, thank you, Sophia. If you have any questions, please do put them into chat while we go through the class, because I will get to them at the end and I'll go through them. You can ask questions about courses in general. You can ask questions about our course if you want, whatever you want. And I will answer them at the end. I'm just going to close that now. So I'm going to get into the class. So before I do, so this is all about creating and selling your first course. For those of you who don't know me that well or don't know me at all, I'm Hannah Martin. I started Talent Studies Club 7 years ago with my friend Carrie. I'm an award-winning advertising copywriter. I've worked for some of the world's top advertising agencies and brands. For the last 5 years, I have run online courses, membership programs, and masterclasses with Talent Studies Club. And so a lot of what I teach you is based on what I've learned, all the mistakes that I've made. I've made lots. I'm going to hopefully help you avoid those, and the successes as well. I'm a national media expert. I've been on Women's Hour, Victoria Derbyshire Show, The Guardian, all kinds of newspapers and magazines. I've run workshops in Mumsnet and Country Living. I'm a business mentor for NatWest's Entrepreneur Accelerator, and I'm a member of 2 all-party parliamentary groups. One is Women in Work and one is Women in Business. So what I'm going to talk about in this webinar is I want to explain to you the process of coming up with the idea of your first course. Because I know I've had loads of questions about this course, and the worry that a lot of you have is that actually there's no course in you, or what you do is so niche that actually is there a way to create a course out of it. So I thought I would talk about the process and some of the things that you do to help you come up with the first course idea. So how do you come up with an idea for a course? A great course will draw on your expertise and knowledge and use it to solve a real problem for someone. And this is what a course has to do. It has to solve someone's problem. Now that problem is sometimes getting rid of things that they don't want, or it's getting something they desire. So the problem is twofold. It's either getting rid of something or it's acquiring something. So for example, you can teach someone how to get rid of stains on clothes if you've got a particular skill in that area. Or you can manage their anxiety to eliminate panic attacks, perhaps if you're a psychologist or a counsellor. Or you can show someone how to get more clients, or how to learn new skills such as playing the guitar. So these are some examples here that help you kind of see that sometimes it's kind of getting rid of stuff that's a problem to you, and sometimes it's acquiring stuff because not having that is a problem to you. So all these 4 examples are problems with solutions. And so the problem and solutions are here. So my clothes are stained, I want to get them clean. Panic attacks are ruining my life, I want them to stop. I'm running out of work, I need to find new clients. I've never played the guitar, I want to learn how. So as you can see here, we're starting to get to kind of 2 sides of something, problem and solution. And we'll cover in a bit later why that's really important to have that beginning and end. So that's how you come up with a course. You basically look at the skills and knowledge that you have, and then you look for someone who's got a problem that you can solve with your skills, knowledge, or expertise. But your course, if it's really going to be sellable, it needs to have what we call the magic 3. And these are, so your course, as is discussed, must solve a problem. It must take your students on a journey, and it needs a clear target audience. So people don't do a course just for fun, even if it's a pleasure. So even if your course is something really enjoyable, like learning to play the guitar, they're not doing it just for fun. They're doing it because they want to go somewhere. They want to get something new that they don't have now. And that something new, as I said, it can be that something new can be getting rid of something. So that new thing is this wonderful world where that problem no longer exists. Or it can be acquiring something that was missing in their world before. So your course needs to know exactly who it's for and the problem they have and where you're taking them from and to. These are the magic three. So it's your audience, it's their problem, and that's their journey, where they're going from and to. So you remember before I said about the two things, my clothes are stained, I want them to get clean, and how that's a before and after. That's the journey that you have to take people on. So I'll give you some examples. So 4 examples is before. Your favourite clothes are ruined. You'd love to rescue them and wear them again. So we're taking them from a problem state, which is your favourite clothes are ruined, to a solution state. You can wear them again because they don't have any stains in them. And that is a defined journey that your audience has to go through, or your students have to go through. Your life is limited by panic attacks. So you've got this very small life that is restricted by panic attacks, and you'd love to be free to make choices and live your life without restriction. So where you want to get to is a life that is free of panic attacks and has now more choice. Your client list is dwindling and you have no idea what to do. You'd love to have a full client list. So you've got someone with a dwindling client list and a limited amount of work, and they want to get to the point where they've got a full client list. You envy people who are musical and regret never learning the guitar. You would love to be able to pick up a guitar and to play for pleasure. So you've got someone here who's in a position of regret and envy because they can't play the guitar and they'd really love to, and they wish they'd done it before. And you're taking them to a place, a solution state, where they can just pick up a guitar and play for pleasure. So that's the magic three. So to recap, you need to solve a problem based on your expertise. You need to take people on a journey from a problem state to a solution state. And you need to have a really defined audience. So as you can see from all of those examples, you've got a really, really clear set of people who have those problems. Now, the next thing to do is to ask for help. So you may know everything about your specialism, but you don't know about the problem. And so to find out the problem, you really need to ask people. Now, why I say that is that actually, if you learnt the guitar when you were a child and then you became very good at it, and then over time you maybe studied music at university, and perhaps then you taught people music, you know all about playing the guitar, but what you don't know what it's like is to have the problem. You've never walked in the shoes of someone who didn't learn to play the guitar and regrets it. You never looked at a guitar and just thought, what do I do with it? So actually, whereas you know all about the problem, what you don't really understand is the solution. Likewise, if you're a counsellor, you may know how to help someone manage panic attacks. You may understand why panic attacks happen, and you may have strategies that you know will help someone stop them. But if you've never had a panic attack and felt helpless and limited your life because of it, you won't really understand the problem. And when you're talking to your clients, but also when you're creating your course, you really have to understand the problem, because otherwise what you will do is you will create a course that doesn't really solve the problem. It just gives them information, but because you're not really aware of what it feels like to be in the problem state and how that problem manifests itself for people, you're not really solving the problem, you're solving your idea of the problem. And so the course might not actually solve the problem for people. It might give them information, it might give them skills, but those skills don't solve the core problem. So you have to know what the problem is. And you also have to know how they feel about it and what they want to get to in order to actually be able to talk to them and sell your course. Because if you just create a course based on what you know and what you think people want, it is unlikely to really resonate with people and they're unlikely to buy it. So you really have to know what your audience are feeling. Because you also might discover that the real problem people need to solve or want help with is different to what you thought. So for example, your guitar player or aspiring guitar player, actually, their problem might manifest in the way that, I get in from work and I haven't got anything to do. So I just find myself drinking wine and watching TV. What I'd really like to do in the evening is just sit down and play guitar and kind of, and have an interest. Or they might think, I really want to go to a party, if they're maybe young and impress girls, like they're a guy or they're a woman, they want to impress men. But, you know, I really want to pick up a guitar and be able to play, and for people to turn around and go, wow, they're really good at guitar. So whereas you might think, oh, people just want to learn the guitar, or they just want to learn songs, their emotional motivation for doing it might be quite different to what you think. So if you're creating a course and you're just saying, I'm going to teach you basic chords, and so that you can play a song, it might really not really resonate, because what they might want is a course for people who want to play a song and impress people. That might be what they'll gravitate towards. So what you've really got to understand is what the problem you're trying to solve, because then you can create a course that is going to solve that problem for people. And yeah, this is really, really important. Remember, you're not creating a course for you. You're not creating a course to show off your knowledge. So for example, if you were maybe like a chemist and you understood like how to make, or a botanist, you understood how to make potions that would cure stains. So you understand the biology of most common stains, and therefore you understand how to create something that will get rid of them. You might want to think, oh, I'm going to have 101 stain removers. I'm going to really put all my knowledge into it. And actually, someone doesn't want that. They just want the 5 most common stains. That's all they want. They're not interested in 101 stains. They're not interested in weird and bizarre stains that you're really impressed that you can solve, you can get rid of. They just want like grease, chocolate, tomato sauce, or whatever it is. And actually what they'd want is a quick, how to get rid of the 5 most common stains for parents, perhaps. If you've got toddlers, and the most common like banana and avocado, and how do you get those off of it? So you're not creating a course for you. You're not creating a course to share your expertise. You're solving a problem for someone else. So you need to really find out what that problem is, until you can create the course that they need, not the course that you think they want. And the easy way to do that is to ask them. So absolutely, at some stage of creating your course, you need to go out and ask people. It's something I did when creating the course I'm going to tell you about later on. And I was really surprised, actually, because I put some options of like, what are the things people most struggle with courses? And what I thought everyone was going to say, and what I would have if I hadn't sent that questionnaire out, is really focused my course on, was not what everyone said. I was really surprised at what came out as a top answer. So it's really interesting to do it, because had I not done that questionnaire and asked probably you, everyone, what literature webinar, what you needed the most help with, I would have created a course that focused more heavily on a different area. As it is, I was really surprised, and now I'm weighting the course more towards actually what you really want. So I wouldn't have known that had I not asked you. So you really have to go out and ask people before you build your course. So if they're on your list, that's what I did, email them. If they follow you on social media, ask them. If they will neither, find them and ask them. Find them in groups that you're in. If you're in a Facebook group full of your ideal audience, ask them. Do ask permission from the group owner. Don't just kind of start canvassing people, because, you know, if the group's owned by someone else, they might think that you're sort of maybe kind of pitching at people. But go and find where your target audience are and get that information from them. It's really, really important to do that before you spend any time building, because otherwise you could just waste a lot of time and frustration building a course that is amazing, you think is brilliant, no one buys. You have to know what the problem is, and you have to build a course that solves it. Research, really important. When you are building a course, research what people say about the problem and other ways they're trying to solve it. You need to be an expert, not just in what you do, but the problem that you're solving. Because the more you know about it, how people talk about it, how they think about it, what is the real irritation for them, how it manifests in their lives. When you know all of this, you can create a much better course, and your marketing materials will be much stronger. So you really have to kind of go out there and learn as much as you can about how people are trying to solve this problem in other ways and what they say about it. So there are a couple of ways that you can do this. One of them is to go on Amazon and look for books that people have written around your problem. So in the course that I've built for you, Create and Sell Your First Online Course, to help you understand and go through the journey of building a course, I give it an example. So I take someone who's a marketing consultant who's building her first course, and I show you in examples every single lesson that we do, I use an example how this person does it, so that you can see someone doing it in action. So the example that I use is a marketing consultant. So if I was this marketing consultant, one of the first things I would do is go out and look at marketing books around the problem that I want to solve. And I would look at what other people are doing to solve it and what customers are saying. So people who reviews of Amazon books are really like gold mine. You can go on there and see how your target audience are talking about their problem, how they're talking about the solution they want, and you can get a lot of information from there, and you can get specifically the language that they use. So when you're creating your marketing materials, you can actually steal language from those reviews so that you're talking in the same words that your customers were talking. Places like Udemy and Lynda are also really, really good places to research. What other courses are there? What ones are selling really well? How do they describe them? And in the reviews, what do people say in the reviews about these courses? Again, what language they're using? What motivated them to buy this course? What problem do they talk about trying to solve? And what solution do they really value? It's really, really amazing stuff that you can get from these places. Know your students. I've covered this a bit, like in Magic 3, why this is so important. You have to know, and you know, with that research as well, you have to know your problem, but you have to know your students as well, because you've got to create something that they need and will love and will buy. So how do you do that? The more you know about your students, the easier you'll find it to come up with a course they genuinely need and will buy, as I just mentioned. So what I really recommend, and you haven't done this already for your course, create an avatar of them, fleshed out with details like their goals, their fears, their values, their challenges, and general demographic details. If you're doing our free online training at the moment, you will have got our spreadsheet with that, and you'll see on that we've actually got an avatar spreadsheet, and it's something like that I absolutely recommend filling in. You need to really flesh someone out and be able to picture them and even give them a name. When I worked in advertising, when we got a brief, we called them personas in advertising. Avatar is a kind of a newer name or a different, I don't know, but personas in advertising is exactly the same thing. It's creating a fictional person that represents your target audience. And ads would have names, so it would be kind of like, I don't know, Angry Anna or something like that. And so when we had a brief, we would always have personas about the people that this brief was aimed at, and it would describe them as a person, and it would say, you know, Anna is a marketing consultant, she lives in London, she's got 2 kids, and it talks about this person as if they're real, as if they're describing a friend or like a soap character. And so we could really picture this person. So when we were creating any advertising, we did it with this person in mind. We had this person really fixed in our head, and we would sense check everything against that. Is this ad going to appeal to this person? Is this email going to motivate her? How would she talk? How would she feel? Where would she be when she saw it? What might cause her to react? So we would really have a really clear idea. We would never work on a piece of work in advertising without a persona, because otherwise we're working blind. And I would say the same to you with your course. Have a really clear idea of who you're creating your course for, because the more you know about them, the more your course will be easy to create and easy to sell. But more specifically, you need to understand their relationship with their problem and solution. And that includes what they have, what they feel, and who they are. And that needs to be both the problem state, so what they have in the problem state, what they feel in the problem state, and who they are in the problem state, and then what they have in a solution state, what they feel, and who they are. So you need to understand what these are, because this is the transformation they want to go through. And you have to really know these things, because you will build your course and you'll build your marketing based on this information. This is invaluable information to help you with the next tricky but very important step. And that's naming your course. This is such an important part of it. What you choose to name your course is almost as important as what's inside it. And honestly, it's absolutely true. You can have the most amazing content. If you get your name wrong, it will never sell. So not only does your course have to be well constructed, it has to be really carefully named. It needs to let people know it's for them. It needs to tell them what they're going to get from it. And it's got to sound appealing. And it's also got to accurately reflect the content, because you could create the most amazing course name ever, and you could have hundreds of people sign up on it, but you've missold it in the name. The name doesn't really accurately reflect the journey they're going to go on and what they get inside. And you're just going to end up with lots of really unhappy people. It's far better to have a name that is accurate than one that is just kind of just going to be really amazing. So your course name needs 3 elements. It needs to be benefit driven, it has to be specific, and it has to convey emotion. Those are 3 really, really important things. And I had to say, when we first started out, I really didn't understand. This is something that and surprisingly, I mean, I'm a writer. I'm an award-winning writer. Words are my living. They're my world. They're my everything. And yet I got our course names totally wrong when we started out. I didn't understand this principle of naming courses. So I did what I see a lot of people try to do. I tried to be clever. So our first two courses, or two of our first courses, were Twitter Tune Up and Love LinkedIn, which I thought, catchy, clever names. They were not these three things. And I really struggled to, my selling was much harder because I couldn't just put my course name out there. I had to put my course name out there and then spend another time explaining what my course was, because my course name didn't do it for me. So it was really important to get these things right. This is something that I've had to learn, because naming a course is a very specific science, and you have to get it right. So that's something that's really important. So you need to educate people about what you're selling and the benefits, and explain why they need it. You have to answer questions and counter objections to purchase, show how it works, and share testimonials and reviews. That's what you need to do as well. So I mentioned we have got a course that we are launching tomorrow. So what I just covered there, I just realised actually I was wondering what that is. That's a rogue slide. That should not be there. That doesn't really make sense for naming courses. And I was reading it out thinking I must have been there for a reason, and realising actually I've put a rogue slide in. Ignore that one. Everything else, apart from that one slide, I don't get things perfect. Everything else about that one slide, it is how you really need to get to creating your course and naming your course. It's all about working out what your expertise is, the journey you're taking someone, what your course needs to include in it, and how you need to name it and how you research it to make sure that it's spot on. It's only part of what we take you through. And I take you through that in really guided lessons in the course to help you achieve that with my help. But it's only part of what we do in our new course, which launches, as I said, tomorrow. So the course is a 4-week course that takes you from, I'd love to earn money selling my own online course, I don't know what to do, to, I'm so proud of my first course and I'm ready to sell it, and I've even got some sales in. So that's what we're aiming to do. We're aiming to take you from a position of wanting to do it but not knowing how, to feeling really proud and looking at this course that you just, 4 weeks ago, you could never imagine yourself having, that is well structured, well done, well kind of written, well named, you've got your marketing ready to go, and you know it's going to work because you've done it the right way. So it's perfect for you if you want to create a course or need a new income stream but have never built one before. Because the reason why I created this now is I've had a few calls with people over the last kind of couple of weeks, and what's really, and also a few emails to people, and what's really come to the fore is that many of you have either had to completely change the way you do your business or adapt it, because either your business was purely face-to-face and it is now in tatters right now into lockdown, or a lot of your business doesn't work the same way. Your customers' needs are changing, and you're realizing actually you have to have a new income stream, an online income stream, and many of you are talking about courses. So I've built this because I think actually right now there's a real need for this, and I want to give you something really practical that is going to guide you through this, is to stop you wasting time and money as we did. It took us a long time to get this stuff right. You don't have time for that. You want to build something right now that you know is going to work and is out there selling for you to replace any lost income. So over 4 weeks, I'm going to guide you, and I'm personally going to guide you through the whole process. So I'm going to help you come up with an idea, and you can get feedback on that as well. And I'm going to show you how to test your idea and generate excitement. And I show you even down to the emails that you send to people and the questions you ask them. Really is kind of a real hand-holding, comprehensive process. So you really can't go wrong. And there's lots of support and feedback as well. So if you're not sure that you've got it right, you can get feedback, and we'll look at it, and I will show you if you've got it right, you've got it wrong, and give you lots of support on that. I'll then help you actually make your course, showing you really easy ways to structure it and create lessons that are simple for your students to follow and get results. I'll share the learning platform we use. There is a free version of it. So I don't want you to spend money building your course. As wherever possible, I'm going to show you how to build it for free, so that the technology you use, we're using technology you've got or technology you can access for free. So get a version out there that is going to sell and it's going to do its job really easy as possible. So I'm going to show you how to structure your modules, how to take the knowledge, how to build it into different kind of things, how many modules you need, and even how you build each lesson. And I've created a system to follow, which I show you how it works and how we build our lessons, that basically makes it really easy to even structure your information, so that it's honestly the easiest way to build a course and get out there and sell it. As I said, we use simple, easily available technology to create courses and a free way to deliver yours. You do not have to be a tech whiz or have deep pockets to build a sellable course. I build all our courses ourselves. I am not technical. I mean, I'm, you know, obviously I've got the basics, but I am no technical whiz, and I use things on a really basic level. So I'm using Google Slides to deliver this. There's no fancy stuff. I know you can do things like, you know, you can do like, I've seen them do really fancy stuff with Google Slides. I don't do that. I don't have time to learn it. So I show you in a way that you can help get the results they want, be really impressed with the course that you deliver, but you do not need to be tech whiz to do it. If that's a worry of yours, I want to just kind of limit that straight away. You don't have to invest in fancy software, and you do not need to be technical. You can build a course out both those things. Finally, I will show you how to sell your course, building a full funnel sales plan, and use challenges and webinars to sell. Different kind of techniques that will help to get interest and excitement of what you do and to sell. I'll give you a sales plan page template. Again, I've spent so long kind of mastering this mystical sales page. It really bugged me for years. I thought there was some kind of magic key that I was going to open a door and suddenly like sales were going to flood in with this one magic thing. So I'm going to save you all that time. I'm going to give you a template for a sales page. And email swipe file. I'm going to give you email templates as well that you can just go and adapt for your business and for your tone of voice, so that it's just so easy for you. I want this to be like the kind of like, almost like a kind of airfix model of building a course. Like the pieces are there, and I'm showing you like a Lego thing, showing you how to put it together, and you can go out and do it. You don't need to think too much. As long as you bring your expertise to the table, I can help you with everything else. I can show you things and give you shortcuts and templates as much as I can to get you through it. To ensure you get off the best start, I'll also show you how to welcome your students and build a community for them as well, so they love your course and refer and buy for you again. And that's also a real aim of mine. So just to be clear, I am not going to show you how to build something that makes loads of money and then just churn through people and that's it. I'm going to help you build something that's part of your business that will grow with you. You will get the bug. You will create more courses, and you've got access to all the content. You can go back and use it again, so that the people who come by your course love it so much that they are your customers for life. They will refer you and recommend you to others, and they buy more things off you. That is my goal, that your course is so good that people will want to buy from you again. I am not going to show you how to build a course that will just make you money but won't be that great. It will be a really good course, because I'm not interested in just making money. I'm interested in adding value. I hope that all our courses genuinely add value, and I want your courses to add value, and that's what I will show you how to do. So there are 5 things that really help you to do this. So we have really easy to follow lessons on our learning platform. Each lesson is short. It is bite-sized learning, so you can come in and do a lesson. If you've got like half an hour, you want to come do a lesson, you can do that. It's really easy to learn, so you can learn an individual thing, go and do it, and if you haven't got time to the next day, you can do it then. There is no overwhelm, there's no kind of hour-long video to watch and 3 pages to go and read. It's bite-sized chunks. There are online worksheets to help you complete the exercises. I'm a really visual person, and if you've worked with me on any of my other programs, you will know how I love a good online worksheet, because they're a good way of putting your thinking down, moving it around, getting the feel for it. So I give you online worksheets to help you complete the lesson. So most lessons have got an online worksheet to go with them to make them easier, not more complicated. And I give you an example. As I said, I use the example of a marketing consultant going through it, and I show you how our fictional marketing consultant does all of the exercises, because I always find it easier when I see an example of someone else having done it to do those. As you can see on the left, we also give you a printable worksheet for each module. Now, I'm aware that you're going to get lots of bits of information, and how do you pull it together in something that's really kind of easy for your brain to get? To me, it's a printed worksheet for each module that you can almost check off the things you can write. So I've got my 3 things here, my magic 3. Once I've worked them out and I've done my worksheet, I write them down. Once I've got my kind of before and afters, my 3 things there, I write those down. Once I've got my pricing plan and all those things, I write them down. So I've got a worksheet you print out for each module, and you can see your progress, you can see what you've done, what you need to do, and you've got it on a sheet of paper, you can refer to it. Like, to me, these are the best way to cement learning. Also do a live online class every week. Now, on that, I'll talk about the stuff we're learning that week, and you can ask questions. You can share stuff on there. If you've done something and you're not sure it's right, you can come and ask me. You can get my feedback. I will look at it. If you're building your course and you're not sure your sales page, and you're not sure your sales page looks great, come on a call, share your screen with me, and I'll talk it through, and I'll go, yeah, that's great. You need to do that. That's not really working yet. You can get feedback from me on what you're actually doing, so that you're getting that kind of one-to-one support and feedback. That's really important. I've also got a private Facebook group that I have set up for support and feedback. So join the private Facebook group. You know, like if you're working at your course name and you've got a couple of things, you're not sure which is the right one, put it as a post in the group and get feedback on it. You will all support and help each other, as well as getting my support, so that you've got a real community of people who are going through the same experience at the same time and sharing the ups and downs, and you're getting that support all the way through, so that even if we're not on the live call, you've got access to me and we've got support all the way through that week. So that's what's actually in it. So I will run this again in future. I have no idea when. I've got no plans for the next cohort yet. I'm going to see how this one goes and get feedback on it. So if you want to build your first course, you need to in the next 24 hours. The doors will close tomorrow on this. The course starts tomorrow, doors close tomorrow. You do have lifetime access to the content, and I do record the weekly calls. So if you're thinking, oh, I'm not sure I can do it in the 4 weeks, I might take a bit longer, or I'm not sure I can start it like tomorrow, but you know you want to do your first course, join it now, because you can still access the content later, and you can get the calls, you can watch the calls at any point, but I will not open the doors after tomorrow, so you have to join tomorrow. And likewise, if you want to get in at the launch price, which I've reduced for kind of coronavirus times, you have to run this first cohort, because it will not be this price again. So the course starts tomorrow and we'll close the doors then. As I mentioned, I've got a special price because I know that a lot of you are really struggling right now, and I want to make it as accessible as possible while still reflecting there is so much value in this course. It is really, really good value. So the course will be $249 after this first launch, but I've reduced it to £199 for this first one, just to kind of give it a bit of help for those of you who want to get in. If you want to look at the sign up page and join, the link is there, talentleadersclub.com/course. That's where you sign up. I'd say it's been a really popular course. I've had so many sign-ups already, and more questions about this course than any other that I've launched. And I think it's really indicative of the time we're in. So you can join right now for £199. I've also done, like I said, I'm really aware that some of you isn't financially great times for you. So what I've done is I've given payment plans, even though it's a 4-week course. I wanted to make sure that you can access it if you don't have as much money. So you can join it for 2 monthly payment plans of £110 or 3 monthly payment plans of £79. And the idea behind this is that if you are stuck for money, that we can get your course out and get you some sales in, so that you're making money before you finish paying for the course. That's my aim. Anyway, so you can join you could pay upfront in full, or there's 2 payment plans if you're really stuck and you want to kind of spread the payments, but you really need to join this. So just imagine, in 4 weeks' time, you could be proudly watching the sales from your first course roll in. It's a really lovely feeling. I have to say, I woke up this morning, turned my phone on, and that lovely feeling when you open your inbox and you see the sales in your inbox, you see the notifications of the sales. It's one of the best feelings in the world. And to me, it's not just because you've made money, but it's because that people love what you're creating, and people are validating what you're creating, and the excitement of sharing it with you. I have to say, building courses is one of my favourite, delivering courses is one of my favourite things. I love working with people. I love seeing the transformation in their business. I love seeing people those aha moments they have when knowledge that you've got that is really difficult to someone else, when they get it. And suddenly it's knowledge they've got as well, and it's easy for them. I love that. So it's really nice seeing those sales come in and knowing you're going to go on a journey with these people and they've put their trust in you. It's a really lovely feeling. free bonus. So I wanted to give you something as a kind of a bonus. If you're watching this and you've joined already, I will send you this. So don't think, oh my God, I've joined, I've missed out on the bonus. You haven't. Everyone who's joined so far will get the bonus as well. If you join before 4 p.m. today on Tuesday, if you're watching, by the way, if you're watching this as a recording and you're watching after 4 p.m, you're thinking, oh my, I missed this. Send me an email and say, I watched the recording, I only just watched it now. I'm joining now, can I have the free bonus? And I will acknowledge that if you're watching a recording later, because I'm aware that not everyone can watch it now. But if you join before 4 p.m. today, you will get what has been our most popular worksheet ever. I've been really astounded by the popularity of this worksheet. So in 7 years of running TLC, this worksheet is by far our most requested. So as you know, I am an award-winning copywriter with over 23 years of experience working for some of the world's top agencies and brands, which means I know how to write headlines to get results like this. So this is, looked, by the way, so this is an ad that I run all the time, and I just forgot, because when I set it up, I like ads running infinite time, because I forget in 10 years time it's still running. So I set this up a year ago, and I didn't notice that I went to check this, that it had run out, so I had to reset it, which is why I've only got a few things here. But this ad I run all the time, and so I basically pay 5 US cents for someone to hit a landing page on my site. It's not to get a sales page. It's not to get a freebie offer. There's nothing on this. It's just to hit a page on our site. So I only pay 5 US cents for a hit because I know how to write headlines. That's it, you know, it's my skill and expertise. I've got 23 years. I've got some of the top awards in advertising because I know how to write headlines that get results. And so I show you how to write your own powerful headlines using a headline formula sheet. This is a sheet I created. It's got over 30 formulas with examples of them of how to write headlines and with different types of business. So I've chosen a service-based business or freelancer, an online retailer, and a local business. So I show you 30 different headline formulas of how to build a headline with a specific structure. And then I give you examples for each one for 3 different types of businesses so that you can write your own headlines. So what you get is a sheet that looks a bit like this. That's got them. And then I also give you tips on there as well about what kind of headlines work best, some really kind of good handy tips at writing headlines. So if you join for 4 p.m. today, I will send you your headline formula sheet so you can start writing headlines that people can't help but respond to. And just so you know, like, I was what we call a through the line copywriter, which means that I did everything from kind of billboards and TV ads down to where I started out kind of what we call junk mail, like letters to your door, but emails. So that's called through the line. We have above the line and below the line. But my specialty was direct response. So I was taught to do things like my first year in advertising, I wrote letters for American Express that came to apply for American Express cards. It's a real exercise in how do you write a headline that someone has to respond to. So I am an expert in headlines. So you'll get my headline formula sheet. So that I've talked enough, I think. That's some ideas about how you get an idea for your first course. That's some insights into what's in this course if you join, and the bonus. And I can see that there's lots of questions, so I'm going to go to them now. And there's that link there if you want to. So Carol's got a question. I'm a teacher. My course is based upon my expertise and knowledge developed through delivering the national curriculum and other statutory government items. How do I create a course that doesn't overstep copyright? Okay, good question. So what I will teach you to do is you take your knowledge and expertise, but you make it yours. So every single person delivers a course. You might have 10 people with the same training, the same professional background, they might have done the same job, but what you will do in creating a course will be entirely unique, because what we will do when we create this course is we come up with the problem that you're solving in your audience. So we start from not what your information is. We start from what problem do you solve and for who? Okay, that's a starting point for building your course. So then we look at their problem and how that problem manifests and how we can solve that problem. So what we do is we take stuff from what you know that solves the problem, rather than delivering what you know and hope that solves the problem, if that makes sense. So I will show you ways to personalize what you are doing and make it yours. So you might have stuff that's from statutory government items, but we'll find a way that we make it yours so that there's no copyright infringement on that. That it's entirely personal. So even if there are 5 other people, 10 other people that do exactly the same job as you, that have got the same knowledge base as you, guarantee all your courses will be totally different. They'll be totally unique to you. No one can replicate your course because it will be based on how you personally interpret that. If that doesn't answer your question or make sense, please do let me know. And Carol says, what happens when I reach the week to create the course and it takes me longer than a week to produce? How do I catch up the remainder? Really good question. So basically, what I'm going to show you is a quick and easy way to create your course. Now, it's really easy to get bogged down in, it has to be perfect, it's got to have the kitchen sink in it, and all of that. That is not the best way to create a course. Again, what we do is we look at what's the problem that they need to solve, what's the quickest way we can solve that problem for them. Not the most thorough way we can solve that problem for them, the quickest way. And actually, if that problem is quite complex, what we do is we split it down and think, we can't solve that whole problem. So your problem might be, how do you help someone pass GCSE maths? Now, how do you create one course that helps someone pass GCSE maths? That is a monster of a course. I mean, teachers teach GCSE maths for 2 years. How can you create a course that's going to do that? So what we do is we break it down and say, right, what are the elements that someone needs to be good at to do GCSE maths? You might say, oh, they need to know algebra, or they need to be really good at long division. It's years since GCSE maths, they might be totally wrong. We'll say they have good exam skills. They need to know how to revise. Each one of those is a separate course. Exam skills for GCSE maths, a really quick course in how you pass GCSE maths exam. What are the specific skills that you need to do it? Or how do you revise GCSE maths? That's another course. We break stuff down into much smaller courses that solve very niche problems, because actually very niche problems are much easier to sell as well. These courses sell much better than a bigger course. So we niche things down. So it shouldn't take you longer than a week to produce the content, because we're going to narrow your problem down so it's not a huge meaty problem, it's a smaller problem that we solve. And then I show you how to create content in a really easy way. We don't put everything in it. We don't put all of your knowledge in it. We simply solve the problem. I teach you how many modules you need, and I teach you how to structure each lesson within the module so that you should be able to do it in a week. Now, if it does take you longer than a week, don't worry, because you have still access to this content and you can come back and do it. What I would advise you to do is to kind of park where you've got to there, or do it in tandem. So you keep up with the sales week, which is the last week, or you start building your sales thing with the rest of us. But you can always go back and finish the building afterwards if you like. But my aim is for you not to spend months building a course. It's to help you build it in a really, really quick way, because I want you selling and getting money. And then I want you building your second course, because if you are, let's say you are a GCSE maths tutor, I want you to be out there selling your exam skills, and then the next course I want you to build is revision, and then the next course I want you to build is algebra, or whatever it might be. So I want you to break it down, and I want you to get the course bug, and I want you to upsell. So I hope, again, if that doesn't answer your question, Carol, please do let me know. Caroline asks, does the course advise where and how to market it once it's been set up? Yes, it does. It does. So what I basically show you how to do, so we do a timeline for selling, and then we do a sales funnel, and I teach you sales funnels for doing it, and I teach you kind of like different length sales funnels, because you might want to do kind of depending on a longer one or a shorter one. But I also show you, yes, how and where to market it. I absolutely show you that. So it is covered. Again, I want this to be a course. Literally, it's like kind of plug in and play, that everything you need in it. And what I will say, if anyone joins this course and there's something that you need to create or get your course out there to sell it, and it's not in the course, if you tell me during the course, I will create it for you. I want this to be the best course ever and the most comprehensive, whilst also being the most simple. So it's a really simple course to do, but I want to include everything. So if you're doing it and you're like, there's a really important piece of the puzzle missing that she hasn't covered, but I really don't get that, I really don't understand this, tell me and I will create it for you, so that there is no stone left unturned in this. So yes, they will have everything, and if you do it and you think there's something missing, tell me and I will create it for you. I've got some questions in Q&A. Let's open that up. I think I might have to stop share for that. So let's go there. Q&A, brilliant. Okay, so Susan asks, good to have a payment plan. The cost is higher if they're struggling to pay. Susan, it always is on payment plans. So as you will learn when you do the course about payment plans, you do, because there's always the risk of payment plans that people default on it. So it's kind of structured because of that. If you want to do the course and you really, if any of you really want to do this course and you are really struggling right now and you're like, I have no money coming in, this course could be my lifeline and don't even have £79, email me and we'll come to an arrangement. Because I genuinely don't want anyone who needs this to not have it. So if you cannot even afford that, do get in touch with me and we will come to an arrangement. I'm really happy to do that. Just as when I did my CV kit, I offered it free to people who couldn't afford to pay it. I can't offer this course free because there's a lot of involvement from me in it, but I'm really happy to come to a payment plan agreement with you if you can't afford the ones we've got. So please do let me know. Kimberly asked, I'm very interested, but would like to know what time the webinar. I haven't set that yet. I was thinking about doing it on a Thursday morning because if we do it, so the course, you get the course content on a Wednesday, and I was thinking a Thursday morning would be a good time because then you will have had a day to look at the content and you had questions. But once I've got everyone signed up on the course, what I will do is I will email you and do a poll and I will go for the most popular time. I do send recordings out of the course, so even if you can't make it, you can watch it. If you have a question that you can't make the call, you can send it to me. If the question involves looking at something, send what, like let's say you've written an email, you've done your sales page and you're not sure about it, send it to me before the call and say, I really want feedback on my sales page, here it is. And if you've got a question that's not covered by the call, you can contact me and I will help. And if you're really stuck on something, you didn't make the call and you want to speak to me, I'll speak to you. I really will give. And anyone who's ever worked with me will know that I do offer lots of support. I usually go above and beyond what I say because I want you all to have great courses. I don't want anyone to do this and not have a course at the end of it and not sell and feel like what didn't work for them, because it's about helping you create courses and I will feel this has failed if it doesn't work for you. So I will give you lots of support. Kimberly says, I know it'd be much more helpful if I'm able to join the live sessions. Daytime doesn't work for me. I work in it. It's possible. Okay, I will ask everyone if what happened is that actually it's split, then I'll do 2 calls. I'll do one in daytime, one evening. Because there are some of you maybe who are homeschooling or you are key workers or whatever it is. And there are enough people who need an evening call, then I'll do one in the morning and one in the evening. Because what I don't want is anyone doing this and not. So if you can only make evenings, and other people say, well, actually, evening's better for me, I'll do 2. I'll do one daytime, one evening. Caroline asks, I've asked that already. Geraldine says, I'm a skincare therapist and ex-lecturer, currently writing an ebook, which could be printed too, about the perimenopause. Great topic. My time management is a problem with taking on too many projects. I could write a course with menopause or starting up a sole trader salon and then get overloaded thoughts. We cover that in the first module. That is, and I'm like you as well. I've got a million ideas and my problem is stopping and actually focusing on one and finishing it. That's why I created this course. The point of this course is to get you to make decisions, go with those decisions and finish them. So yes, you will get help with that because we will come up with that in module 1. We do all of this and you have to have, by the end of the first week, you have a course idea that you have chosen and will stick to. You've got a name for your course, you've got a pricing plan for your course, all by the end of week 1. This time next week, you will have all of those things. So yeah, I will stop overwhelm. And if you struggle with that, tell me and I will help you. You will have a course idea. We will what was it called? Like, there's a book about picking your pumpkin, about how, like, when you grow pumpkins, you kill your pumpkin. But basically, a pumpkin vine has lots of pumpkins on. You pick one and you kill off all the others because all of your kind of energy and ideas have to go into and time go into one. So the point of this course is to stop you wasting time and channel that. So yeah, really a question, Kimberly asks how much hours. So it's really hard to answer that because no one has gone through this course yet. So I can't ask people and and feedback on them. What I will also say is I find that some people are slow and some people are quick. When I did my Twitter course, was our first course, Twitter Tune Up, and I canvassed people who did it, how long it took, and I was really surprised. Most people took about 2 hours per module, but then some people, so like there's this clump of people took 2 hours, some people that took 4 hours, and then some people took 8, and they all ended up with the same thing. So what I would say is it is partly down to you and how much time you spend. What I would also say is I've made it as simple as possible. So I would imagine that you can go through, for example, module 1, and you can complete module 1 in 2 hours. When you look at it, you will see, so I have a teaching method that that presents information in such a way that I can give you as little information as possible. Don't overwhelm you with knowledge. I don't overwhelm you with text. Like there's no 3-page booklet to read. I try and give you as little information as possible, but as actionable as possible, so that I channel your action into very specific ways that you get results. So I'm not teaching lots of theory. You are grasping the concept and then doing. So there's not too much reading and watching a video. This is the principle. Here's what you do it. Let's check the results, let's move on, and let's put those results forward. So yeah, I think you could do module 1 in 2 hours. If you add in the class, then it'd be 3. It might take some of you a bit longer. So my idea is that these are not full-time modules. I'm not asking anyone to spend 8 hours a day for 5 days on this. Obviously, some modules, like when you're actually building your course, it might take a bit longer. But again, my idea is that actually I'm going to save you time, because if you are thinking of doing a course, this is the quickest way to do it. I will show you really quick and easy ways. So I hope that helps. And like I say, you have lifetime access to this. You can go on past the 4 weeks. I'll keep the Facebook group open. And if you have questions, like if you're doing it like 6 weeks time and you're just catching up then and you're in the Facebook group, ask me. I will come in and help you if you're still doing it then. I hope that's Geraldine. I really relate to ADHD. That's me. Yeah. So, do you know, funnily enough, when I answered your question, I'm getting red now, I was thinking, I wonder if she's. That sounds like ADHD. So for all of you know, those who don't know, I have ADHD, and I do really struggle with it. And I've had to have loads of coping mechanisms. This course will really help me with ADHD, because I understand all of those things, and it kind of really, like, I stop you from going off on that, but I could do this and this and this, and I've got a million thoughts, and I narrow you into like, let's just cut those thoughts out. Let's close those million tabs on your browser and let's focus on this. So yes, sorry, yes, ADHD is really tricky. Where do you sell the course? Oh, okay, so hold on a second, let me just I will put a link to it in chat. You can sign up here. Here is a link I'm going to put on the chat thing there. So I just put a link there to it. If you click there, it's got the 3 pricing options on there. How many classes is in the course? There are 4 modules, so it's over 4 weeks. It depends, so how many classes? So for example, module 1 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Module 1 has 6 kind of lessons in it. They're all really short lessons. They're all like, so I don't know, less than a side of A4, let's just say, in terms of what you have to read. And then you've got an exercise, and an exercise that is so for example, it's a really guided exercise. So you've got to come up with these 3 things, go and brainstorm these 3 things, and I give you a sheet to brainstorm them on. It is so easy. Literally, it is build a course by numbers. It is kind of really guiding you. So for example, that's how many is in module 1. Catherine asked, does a tech session cover setting up email lists to capture content? Yes, it does. So I will show you, so I'm going to take you, even if you've never even got an email account, I will show you how to set up an email list, how to set up a form. I will show you in MailChimp, I think. I don't use MailChimp personally, I use Drip. But Drip is more expensive than MailChimp. So I will show you in MailChimp, because I don't think Drip has a free, I think MailChimp has a free package, and I don't know if the free package, but even its basic package is very cheap. So I will show you how to do it in MailChimp. so that everyone can do it, and it's accessible to everybody. So I will show you how to set up an email list. I will show you how to do it. I will show you how to use webinars to sell and challenges to sell. And like I said, if you're watching, if you do this class and you're like, there's a gap, you've showed me this, but how do I do this? Tell me and I will do it for you. So that, like I say, if you're watching this and you've never created a course before, you've got no email list, I will help you with all of it. And if anything's missing, do tell me. Caroline says, my timing is awful. I know Tiger King is on Netflix. Where do I sign up? I put the link into, I'm going to send, so I will send you all a link to, I will send a recording out later, but straight away after this, I will send you all a link. If you, Hortense, you've written in chat, I've put the link in chat. So it's talentladiesclub.com/course. The link is in chat. If you scroll up, you'll see it there, but I will send an email out with the link. And I apologize for coinciding with Tiger King. Naomi says, love listening to you today, got to run. I like the sound, but I think I need to concentrate on launching my interiors business at the moment. Oh yes, Naomi, yes. Yes, to focus on one thing. Would be interested in the future. Hope it's all works well with you, not too crazy. Thanks, Naomi. You've probably gone, but lovely to hear from you anyway. Amy says, can the course we make consist of video tutorials rather than written text? Yes, it can. It doesn't have to be written text. It can be anything you like. It can be slideshows, it can be video tutorials, however you want to do it, you can deliver it that way. I'm a writer, so for me, and I'm a really visual person, so actually I find videos quite hard to watch, but ADHD as well. If I'm watching a video, I am always on my phone at the same time, then I'm missing what's in the video. It's a personal thing. So I prefer written text, but there are videos in that course as well, by the way, and I always do, like if I'm showing you something, I'll do a video kind of, like if I've got a worksheet, I will do a video and show you how to do the worksheet. But yes, you can do video tutorials only, you don't have to do text at all. I will show you how to do that. Any more questions? I'm just going to scroll up in case I've missed any. Yes, I asked them that. I think that's all the questions. Hortense, have you got the link? Now I've put it into chat, but like I said, I will send an email out to everybody. I can see my phone flashing up. I think loads of you, it looks like loads of you signed up during the webinar. Thank you if you have. If you've got any more questions after this, you're very welcome. If you reply to any of the emails you get from us, I will see them and I will happily answer them. Other than that, have a lovely day, everyone. I'm so excited about starting this course tomorrow and sharing this with you. This is like, I've really loved putting this together, even though like I basically spent all of the weekend like creating, like getting like the modules together. Aileen says, looking forward to tomorrow. Brilliant. I'm looking forward to it as well. Like I say, if you have already signed up, I will send you the bonus the thing as well, so no one will miss out on it who's already signed up. And if you have signed up, you'll be getting an email with me tomorrow morning with how to get started, and I'm going to send out an email with details of the Facebook group. Really excited about this. And oh, is that another one on Q&A? Oh yeah, hold on. Asma, thank you for the short intro. It's been great and reassuring. I love your energy and intensity signing up today. Brilliant. I look forward to seeing you in there. Thank you. I've got lots of energy. I really love this. It's probably one of the favourite things I've ever created. So I'm so excited about sharing it with you. Have a lovely day, everyone. I will send a recording out of anyone who's missed it. And I will see lots of you inside the course tomorrow. Thank you, Carol. And bye. Have a lovely day.